This is a much needed video. I don't even know where to begin. Okay guys, hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is a much needed video. I don't even know where to begin. So much has been going on. I know the last video that we posted, we were talking about ourselves, my husband and I, but the video before that we were talking about getting out of debt and how we were able to pay off my student loan. Thank the Lord. It was a crazy time to pay off our loan. You guys like my hair? My two little ponytails. Excuse my hair, you know, I'm trying to grow out a pixie right now, so. But what better time than to grow out a pixie when you have to be quarantined? Even though New York City isn't quarantined anymore fully, we are on phase 2 as of right now of reopening. So I just felt like I had to talk about everything that's been going on. It's been crazy times, and we've been very inactive on YouTube. I recently also stopped. I didn't close the account, but I logged off and made it my business not to go on Instagram for almost, I think now, 2.5 weeks. I haven't been on Instagram. I removed myself from Instagram purposefully. I just felt like I needed the break, and I needed to get my thoughts straight and my feelings and my emotions together. And I know I can't be the only one feeling this way right now. We just went through, you know, besides the personal things that we all go through in our own lives, us, you know, trying to be focused and paying off student loan debt, which coincidentally we finished paying off when this whole pandemic started unraveling, which I'm very thankful for. I'm thankful that we were able to do that and go through those days without that worry. Even though my husband and I, babe and I, are very lucky that we didn't have to stop working throughout the whole pandemic. I'm lucky enough to still be able to work from home. Till this day, I'm working from home, which I have to say has been an absolute blessing. At the beginning, it didn't really feel like it. I was very, very overwhelmed and stressed about the idea of working from home because I just like the structure and I like getting up and having somewhere to go. But we all know I have 2 children, Armani and Zena, which I know a lot of you have not seen her in a while. She is now 2. She turned 2 in April. Time absolutely flies. Say hi. Take your bubble out. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. And so, anyways, going back to that, I was able to work from home throughout the pandemic, thank God. Babe didn't have the same luck. He had to go into work. He works for one of the hospitals in New York City. And he had to go through the whole thing traveling to the city, which was absolutely nerve-wracking the whole time. But we did it, we pulled through, and I'm so grateful to God. Yeah, I was able to work from home, and I was a little overwhelmed at the beginning because I like the structure. I like getting out of my house, and going to work is like my space and my time, if that makes sense. Like, I know I'm working, but it's time that I get to be me and do something else and feel productive outside of being a mom. If you moms out there are watching this and you feel like you can relate to this, comment down below. I know I can't be the only one. So it was hard for me because I didn't really want to, at least my ideal daily routine was not for me to be home. Like I never aspired to be working from home or to even be a stay-at-home mom. I like the having to leave my house, even though after I had Zena, it is a lot of work to get out of it is a lot more work to get out of my house to go to work, because I have to get her ready and Armani and leave, and it's just a lot more complicated in the mornings. But I was getting used to that. So then this comes, and of course a whole bunch of things just race through your mind and worries. It was such I don't even know how to describe it. What is the word? It was so just overwhelming. And the news, no, mama, stay here, okay? It's like so overwhelming. The news 24/7, you know, I stopped watching the news after a while. You know, those numbers every day 24/7 just can drive you nuts. And so I kept myself informed enough to where I knew what to do to keep my family safe, but I tried not to saturate myself so much. But then social media is a whole different thing. You know, you try not to watch the news, but then social media just is like a constant reminder. And then recently, I live in New York, well, everywhere, the riots begun. And that is a whole other disaster going on. And so it's just been very, very difficult times. We kind of slowed down the spread of you know who, and then the riots begin. And so it was like one thing after the other. And at some point I just felt like I just had to unplug. Like I just really had to unplug. My daily routines was all over the place. My kids were home with me all day, every day. I wasn't used to that. And so I had to get accustomed to working from home, having my kids at home, getting used to my routine at home, which I already had a very negative thought process when it came to just being stay at home. You know, I just have never been that person to want to stay home. I like to go outside like on a daily. So for me, it was very tough to just get accustomed to that new normal. But I'm happy to say now, and I have mastered this. Like I really feel more at ease now. I'm lucky enough to have some help with the kids whenever I need help here at my home. And I've just gotten a routine down pat now. It's been hard. It's been a struggle. But I feel good today that I've somewhat gotten a routine together, and my house has never been more clean. My house has never been more clean than today. I mean, because we're working moms, you know, we're always in the runaround. Only time that we take out to like clean our homes is on the weekends, maybe on a Sunday. And so now I'm home all day, like all the time. So I've literally created a routine every day. I mop with all the damn virus that's going on. I made it a priority from the beginning to keep my house as clean as possible, especially because my husband was still working. Armani wanted to interrupt a little bit and say hi. Apparently, Armani really wants to be a YouTuber now, so that's a whole different topic.
Where's the head? Hi guys, what's up? So today,
sorry, had to pause and come back. Where was I? So I got a whole routine down pat now, and now I can't see myself going back to work. Like I've really gotten the hang of working from home, and it's just so convenient. We don't spend money on gas. I don't spend time traveling. And so all that time I get a head start, and I clean out the living room, I clean out the room, I mop, I sweep, I just get the house, you know, all tidied up, I have enough time to do it. Whereas when I would have to physically go to work, there was just so much time that was spent on traveling and picking up the kids that by the time we got home, we literally were just making something really quickly to eat, and it was just getting ready for the next day. So, you know, guys, I have so much to say before I put the camera to record this, in this instance, my phone. I have so much to say, and when I get in front of here, I swear to you, my mind goes blank. Like, I forget absolutely everything I wanted to talk about. Also, I absolutely lost. No, what are you doing, Mama? No, don't take it off. I absolutely lost my workout routine. I was going to the gym before this absolutely amazing virus stepped in, and then Babe and I were just totally kicked off our routine and just thrown all over the place. But recently, it's been about 3 weeks, almost a month, I started working out again. I'm doing my workouts at home. I'm actually going to be doing my 30-minute workout after this video, and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. What happened, Mama? I'm feeling a lot better. When you stop working out, your routine is thrown out of whack. All of a sudden, you're a 24/7 full-time mom, and you're also working. It is a lot. On top of the fact that now I was responsible for Armani passing to 2nd grade. It was a lot. It was a struggle, guys. I mean, Armani in school, when he's in school, the teachers have nothing but amazing things to say about Armani. But obviously, we have to understand that this is a situation that is not so normal. And so his schedule and routine was thrown out the window, as so was mine. And so I have to understand, I had to really sit down one day and understand that this is probably just as hard for him as it is for me, because every day he would be here, home, where before his routine was also thrown out of whack, and he wasn't in school mode. Like, it was a struggle. I had to get really strict on a daily basis. Get up, brush your teeth, let's eat something. You're gonna sit down and you're gonna do your homework. You can't watch TV or anything before your homework is done. And if I sit here and I tell you that every day was an absolute success, I would be the biggest liar. I tried to do that at the beginning, but to be completely honest, I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed with everything that was happening that I just didn't have the energy and the strength to repeat myself every day and to tell him, sit down, you can't watch TV until your work is done. And you know, he needs some sort of supervision. He is in 1st grade, now going to 2nd grade. His last day of school is tomorrow. And so he needs supervision. Like, he was in the middle of learning how to read. He's still not an absolutely excellent reader. So when this whole pandemic occurred, he was in the process of learning how to read. And so when he had to stay at home, he still wasn't a fluent reader. And so now I had that responsibility on top of all the worries and all the stresses and all the alarms going off in my head. And so it was tough. So it was a struggle, you know. There were some days that I literally just wanted to cry because I didn't know how I was gonna get Armani to just cooperate and do what he had to do. And then the teachers, you know, they have to do this, they have to do that. I'm grateful that Armani's teacher was understanding, in that a lot of parents were not working, so they could sit down and spend 2-3 hours with their child or more, whatever they needed, explaining what they had to do for their schoolwork. And I appreciate that she was understanding at knowing that I was still working. You know, I wasn't just at home just spending all my time and dedication to them, I also had to do my work from home. So she was pretty understanding, and she worked out a schedule and a way of doing things with him specifically. So I'm very grateful for that. But it was hard. It was hard. And then after a while, he understood everything that he had to do. He had to go on specific websites and do like a lesson every day from each website. And so it was like, it became a routine, and he knew what to do every day. But still, even though he knew what to do every day, some days were a struggle. He wasn't focused. He has Zena here, who's not in school, and she's watching something. She wants to watch something on the tablet. She wants to watch something on the TV. And of course, he doesn't want to be doing schoolwork. His sister isn't doing schoolwork. So I had to be understanding, and it took me a while. It took me a while. I mean, it took me about... about 2 or 3 months to get it down packed. Yeah. But that's okay. We got through. Tomorrow is his last day of school, and I am so happy. I'm so happy. But I will continue and try for him to do something at least twice every week, because I don't want him to forget what he has learned during this school year, during this homeschooling year. But this has taught me a lot of things. This has put into perspective so many things. I mean, so many things that I actually valued before, but after this I valued even more so. Like, just appreciating going outside. You know, the first day that we went outside as a family again, after everything sort of calmed down a little bit, I was just so appreciative of just the air and just being outside and feeling free and having the sun hit my skin. And so, I mean, even appreciative of just spending time with those you really care, those you really love. My sister, my niece, my brother-in-law, my mother. You know, I saw my mother pretty often during the whole thing, because she doesn't live that far from me, and we took all precautions with her. So I can't say that I went a long time without seeing my mom, because I didn't. But I did go a long time without seeing my sister and my niece and my brother-in-law and just close friends that I would see on a regular. And, you know, you just start to miss people, and you start to realize how important human connection is. How important human connection is. How many of us weren't starting to feel depressed because we just felt alone. And even though we were on social media, it's not the same. Social media will never replace human connection. It just never will. But yeah, recently also with everything that's going on with the rioting and the BLM movement, I'm in New York, around where I live. The riotings were... I'm all for the protesters, but around where I live, there wasn't protesting. There was looting and burning of stores, and that day was pretty sad. I must say, that day felt very sad for me, because I understand where the protesters are coming from. I understand their frustrations. Like, I'm with them. But I also understand that what was going on around my area was unfair. Unfair to those that live around here, unfair to those people who build the businesses, their small businesses around here, and who worked and who put their sweat and tears into their business. Give me a moment. Who put their sweat and tears into their businesses, and to have them looted or burned down, I can't just ignore that. I can't just brush it off, because they're human too, and they're not guilty of everything else that's going on in the world. So I was very sad that day, and for many days after that, because everything you would see on social media was just like a back and forth, and the people were just tearing each other apart with the comments and, you know, the back and forth between people that I felt isn't helpful. I feel like it's not helpful to just be tearing each other apart. I feel like more now than ever, we need to be united, and we need to spread love and positivity. And so that's why I removed myself from social media, from Instagram. Okay. I had to really remove myself from social media because I'm not gonna lie, it was affecting me emotionally, mentally, my productivity here at home. It was really throwing me down a dark slope. I just was getting into this dark mentality, and I had to really get out of it. My social media was starting to become very toxic. And so I've also started to unfollow a lot of people that I don't even know why I'm following them. You know, like, at this point in my life, I want to move forward. I want us to move forward. I want to figure out how can I really help, instead of just sitting here on social media and scrolling right after or during a pandemic and just watching all the negativity just be written on there. And I know there's a lot of positivity in the world as well, so I don't want to close myself out to that. I don't want to enter that negative mindset, because I know it is a mindset, and I know that there's a lot of positivity going on as well. And so I don't want to drown that out. So yeah, I needed to rewire myself. I needed to get myself together. And so that's why I removed myself from social media, and I'm working on myself, because I cannot help other people if I'm not okay myself. And so I think a lot of people need to do that at this point. I think a lot of people need to really sit back, analyze, do some research, and really educate themselves on the topic, without having any biased opinions from other people enter your mind. Like, we need to, at some point, we just need to gather our thoughts, gather ourselves, and do our own research on places that aren't so biased or have like a side already picked, because it's important that you make your own choices because you agree with them, not because you're being persuaded that this is what you should believe in. Mama, what happened? But anyways, enough of that. I am not gonna make this channel about politics or anything like that at all. I know it's not my interest to make this channel about politics or anything like that. I just really want to, this channel is about positivity, growing together. It is about moving forward. It is about how we can give a helping hand, how you can move forward, how to become better people for tomorrow, for our kids, for our future. This is what this channel is about. So moms, if you feel like you weren't the best kind of mom during this whole, or still feel this way during this whole pandemic, and this craziness and the protesting, and I'm here to tell you, it is okay. You're not the only one going through it. I think a lot of us are going through this process of accepting what's going on around us. This era of just like disbelief, this era of just like, is this really going on in 2020? You're not the only one with those feelings. There's a lot of us feeling that way. So don't feel bad. But what I want to tell you is, take care of yourself. When you find yourself going through a dark path with a bunch of negative thoughts, please put things into perspective. Step away if you have to. Some of us really struggle with these mental struggles. Step away if you have to. Have a conversation with your kids. Play a game. Watch something that's a little bit more positive on YouTube or on Instagram. Watch somebody that inspires you. It's not being selfish. You just have to take care of yourself, because again, if you're not okay mentally, you cannot help anybody. So it doesn't help that you go down this path, because you're not going to be able to be of any help to society, if that makes any sense. So I encourage you to not feel bad if you weren't the best at homeschooling, if you weren't the absolute best at being a stay-at-home mom. Like, this is a learning process for all of us. And if you went through it and you're back at work, welcome back. You did it. But we're still pretty much in this. You know, the virus isn't gone, so we still need to be very cautious. Again, this isn't about whether you believe that the virus is real or not. You have to be cautious. I'm being cautious. Also, going back to that topic a little bit, I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on out there about the virus and how it got here and how it's all false and it's not real, and it's out here to kill us all, which I think both extremes are wrong, but that's just my opinion. Regardless of what you think, the virus, in my opinion, is very real. I've seen people close to me, not family members or anything like that, but close enough to where I have a relationship with them, be affected by it. And if you think that you don't have to, at this point, for example, we're on phase 2 in New York. If you think that you don't have to wear a mask, that it's all like a hype and it's just too much and you're not gonna pay attention and you're gonna just go about your life and do things as you did before all this happened, that's perfectly okay. Like, I really don't have a problem with that. Like, you live your life the way you want to live it. But you do have to be respectful of other people's way of thinking. You have to be respectful of how other people feel about that situation, of whether they want to protect themselves and their family by wearing a mask, by socially distancing from certain people still at this point. I just feel like we just have to be respectful. Just be respectful. Just don't just brush off the other person's feelings, because it's not nice, it's not polite, and it's not okay. Just be respectful of other people's opinions and the way that they're going about this. If you see that they're wearing a mask when they go outside and you haven't been wearing a mask to certain places, just be respectful and wear a mask for them if you're gonna hang out with them. Just out of respect. Like, I don't know if I make sense. Do I make sense? If you're listening to me right now and I make sense to you, comment down below. I think I'm not crazy. Like, I just feel like, how does that affect you or bother you? You can't just dismiss another person's feelings because you don't agree with them necessarily. You can't just dismiss their feelings. That is the way they feel. And just be respectful. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to get ready. Well, I'm ready already, but I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna start doing my workout. I'm gonna record that workout. It's a 30-minute workout that I've been doing for the past 3 weeks, or 3 weeks or so. And yes. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody is safe out there. I hope everybody is staying sane. I hope everybody finds their peace. I hope that if you're one of those people who have unacceptable thoughts about people who aren't like you, I hope that the Lord is touching your soul and that you start treating people the way you would like to be treated. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope everybody is safe out there. Thank you to everybody who is newly subscribed. Thank you so much. And to our old subscribers, I'm sorry our content hasn't been so exciting lately, but life isn't just exciting all the time. This is real life, and I'm not gonna make pretend something that isn't really happening. Anyways, thanks again. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.